Welcome again. Lucky today to have had the chance to get a second interview. This one came a little bit serendipitously through a few connections, and I had to jump on the opportunity to speak to this man who we're going to welcome on next. He's got a fascinating background. He's from Uganda. He's the only African at the law school at Stanford, which is quite incredible. He's here to do a master's in law. And I'm just very excited to welcome him on and have a conversation. So without further ado, let's welcome on Dwight Bigala. Dwight,
Hey.
pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure, it's a pleasure.
Please. So Dwight, tell us a little bit what it's been like your year here at Stanford. It's a one-year program, right?
Yep.
Graduating this Saturday.
Yep.
What's the experience like been for you?
Well, it has really been very, very amazing. I'm so humbled for this opportunity. I've been, I studied at law school. I'm doing a master's in law, science and technology. Mm-hmm. But I've been taking different classes at business school and also engineering school. So I kind of got the whole experience, law, business and engineering.
Excellent.
Yes.
What's a course that stood out particularly, that course that that was particularly memorable and that you think you'll take with you?
Oh, okay. For law school, there is a course called Legal Informatics, which kind of shows you about the future of law and technology. It is very, very important. Yeah. Business school, I did a course called Venture Capital, which was also very, very good. And engineering,
what was it in that course that was particularly memorable?
Venture Capital. It shows you. You learn about the rules about Silicon Valley. You know, Silicon Valley handles 2/3 of the VC capital worldwide, and it's very, very important to understand how does that market work. Mm-hmm. You see, for most people who are outside Stanford and who don't get that who don't attend it, it's not so easy to get that insight because they call quite a number of guest speakers from the Valley who enlighten you. So that is something I enjoyed about the course.
I know some of those learnings something you could see yourself taking back to Uganda and East Africa. Something I'm hoping to do is we're working on a company, so we got a lot of practical advice here. It's more of an AI company. Focused in the field AI, artificial intelligence. Focused in the field of law.
Okay. So the knowledge I gained at school here in business school helps improve on the business skills to scale such a company.
Okay. Yes. And so what was it originally that got you interested in both technology and law, and then combining the two and doing technology law? What was that journey like for you in Uganda? You grew up in Kampala?
Yes, I grew up in Kampala, Uganda.
Okay.
Yes.
So that journey to come to realize that's what you were passionate about.
Okay, I think right from the time I was young, I've always been fascinated by technology. But I did law because law it's really, really important. It cuts across all fields. But still my passion for technology remained. So within technology, there are specific areas I got interested in over time through research, one of which was cybersecurity and computer forensics. So before I completed law school in Uganda, 60 days before I completed, I began a company of mine called Computer Forensic Specialists.
Okay.
So we have been doing computer forensic work, cybersecurity, and ICT legal and policy advisory to governments, and and the financial services sector.
Just in Uganda, or what?
Mainly in Uganda. We also did some work in Rwanda.
Okay.
So that has been our key focus. So
are you still running the company from here?
No. There's I work with a team of colleagues. There's a colleague of mine called Noah Balensavu and Gilbert. They handle it right now. I'm studying. So full-time student.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Great. So that's very interesting to learn about how you came to understand that. And you're going to be staying in the US after your graduation for a little bit, but trying to build a business that cuts across both countries.
We have been talking to investors. Something that is, you see, Africa currently is it's looked at as the second fastest growing continent by 2020. I've been reading some of those statistics. But what also excites investors about certain business models is if you can have a business model here and also scale it in terms of harnessing the resources back home, because for instance in Africa the engineers are good.
Yeah.
You see, they're as good as the ones here in Silicon Valley, and at times even better. For instance, some of the projects we have worked on have been for USAID, USAID-based projects, and those have been done by local engineers. So if I'm looking at it in terms of harnessing the benefits of both continents. See, the thing with Silicon Valley, it has financial resources. The investors want a company here, they can invest some money, and we use some of the skills back home to grow it. So that is how I'm looking at playing that kind of dynamic, how to get the benefit of both worlds.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So someone like you, you're obviously, you've been a leader in Uganda, leading a company. Quite clearly, you're someone destined for a big leadership role in business, whatever it is you choose to go into, law. What is it that leadership means to you, and what are the things you think about as you think about being that inspiring leader?
I think leadership means you have to learn how to be a servant of all.
Yeah.
That is very, very important. Which is not only your customers. You have to learn how to also your employees. It's very, very important. So for me, I think that is one of the most defining traits of a successful leader, because if you can, for instance, if it's your customers, there's this saying, if you're a servant of all, it's more like if you're a servant of all, everyone will come to you. It's slightly along those lines, but it's the local language saying something like that.
So it sounds like just thinking about being in service, servant leadership is how you think about your own style.
I think that is very, very important. It's something I'm working on, but I believe it's very, very important to achieve a lot and to also inspire others. I think that is so important.
Fantastic. And what gets you, you've talked a little bit about Africa's growth and the quality of engineering. Is there anything else that gets you particularly excited about the region, about East Africa?
Oh, I think...
I mean, for instance, there's always talk of better regional integration and how that's going to help the greater region.
I think Africa has a lot of very, very strong points. For instance, we have over 60% of the world's arable land is in Africa. So on top of that, if you're to look at it from the context of just sheer manpower, we have 1.2 billion people. So, and in terms of the fastest growing countries in the world, the top 10 fastest growing countries in the world, the majority of them are found in Africa. It has a lot of good things going for it. Yes, there's some wrinkles here and there, but well, all continents have them. Many other countries have them. So I think right now, I think the future is really, really bright for Africa in many, many ways. In some areas we are trying to find our way forward, but I think there is a lot of hope. You see, it's not like the dark days of the 60s, for some people the 70s, where there was a lot of civil war. Right now, in many countries, there's a lot of stability. We have a huge population of the youth compared to most of Western Europe, where they have a more aging population. So we have a lot going for us. We have a lot going for us. I think we just need to remain more and more positive, and to try to harness the benefits in the developed world. I think that's what we have to do. For instance, technology is one area I see can help Africa get out of a lot of these the economic failings that it has. I think technology can really, really do a lot, because you can be in another part of the world like Africa, and you're able to sell your product to the developed world. In Uganda, we have the case of a student he was at Makerere University where I studied. He was an IT guy. He was able to upload his app to had to do with translation. And translation, it was a dictionary, but it was downloaded numerous times. And the youngster, he was a student, he quickly became a millionaire.
Wow.
And most of his users were overseas. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think we
strong.
have that type of thing. It's not only looking at the local market, but also the international market. You see.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
fantastic.
on its own, Africa has certain strength.
Yeah.
At this
Fantastic.
stage.
Fantastic. So, well, to finish up here, I mean, I think a lot of our viewers are, they're looking to trying to design their own path so they too can become the next Dwight out there in the world. What words of advice would you have for those youngsters who are looking to follow kind of the path you've forged?
Some of the words I would advise these guys as youth, I would tell them not to, in case they fail in life, that's one of the things. It happens a lot, whether it's business or personal life. They shouldn't take it too hard. They should look for inspirations. The other people who have been failing, like Michael Jordan, he has gone through tremendous failures. I would encourage them to get back on track. Life, certain things are not so easy, and at times you may not see. You may be, for instance, fearful. You may be working on a project, like in my case. You may be working on a project, and you look at it and you're like, can I achieve it? But if I'm to borrow someone's words, Mark Zuckerberg recently saying something that inspired me, and I hope it also inspires the youth. He said you need to start somewhere. You see, if he had looked at Facebook and thought of, if he pictured it when he had started and thought of what he needed to do to get it to where it is, he wouldn't have completed it.
Yeah.
But he just said, look, you just need to start somewhere. So I would encourage the youth to also look at it like that. In case they fail, let them not be hard on themselves. Secondly, let them start somewhere. Let them start somewhere in what they are doing, however small it is. Small beginnings should not be despised. They should work hard on those things and make progress every day. And as long as it's positive and it is benefiting many people, they'll really be able to succeed. Yeah,
Fantastic.
That's my advice to them.
Right.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you, speaking to you
It's a
today.
pleasure too. It's a pleasure.
Everyone's very proud. Uganda's proud. The whole of East Africa is proud for the work you're doing.
Thanks for thanks for what you're doing here at Stanford.
I appreciate it.
You're really putting Africa on the continent. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.